Hey, everybody likes to go out to eat, but do we ever ask ourselves what happens behind the kitchen doors? That's what this show is all about, as we delve deep into the Orange County dining scene, not just to find out what's happening, but what's happening behind the kitchen doors. How are people building? What are they building? Why are they building? Where are they building? And how do they run these things today here with the man who ran one for 25, 30 years, Chef Pascal. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon.
You ran restaurants in the heyday, the 80s and all that, the famous chefs.
I think it's still the 80s. Actually, it's a new area.
It's the new era?
80s, era, I would say. Because there's so many new young chefs, very innovative, very progressive. And we have one of them here today in Orange County, and we have Chef Antonio Bevacqua. Bevacqua, yeah. And I won't say what I mean because...
Something to do with drinking water, I thought it was.
Yeah. And not all the good chefs are French. And
that's hard for you to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
That comes out.
But no, I respect great Italian cuisine. And Chef Antonio has a fantastic restaurant in the South Coast so-called area behind South Coast Prada. And
the name of the restaurant is?
Girasole. Girasole. What do that mean? If you see on the chef jacket, there's a beautiful sunflower.
A hint there. Yeah.
So Girasole is sunflower in Italian. I mean, the flower that turns with the sun.
Is that really what a sunflower does? Does it face the sun?
Oh, yeah.
Does it move
Totally. Yeah.
So welcome, sir. Tell us about your restaurant, where it is, how you started it, why you started. Give us the background.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So the restaurant is inside the Soco, a center most famous for furniture, shopping, and restaurants. But they have some nice places, including us now.
This is just north on the 405, like just north of the South Coast Plaza there?
Yeah.
Exactly. 5 minutes from South Coast Plaza, you can actually see from the 405 freeway. And great location in a way that easy to get from wherever you are. Come from LA, from San Diego, from Newport, Laguna. The only thing you have to know is that. However, how do I start it? Wow.
Where did you come from and how did you start? Why here?
Paul?
Yeah.
I have a few questions.
Okay, I know. I just want to get the basics out of the way here because then we'll get to all this stuff here.
Yeah. What happened before you opened the restaurant? And because it's fairly new. It's like a year or so.
Yeah, we opened December 2024. Yeah. So a little over 1 year.
Can you tell us a little bit of your pre-experience?
Yeah, let's start from grow up, born and raised in Italy. I did one of the most prestigious culinary school in Tuscany, Monte Catini Terme, where I'm from. And I started working in kitchens in Italy. I also, believe it or not, been to Paris for a couple of years. It was an amazing experience.
Wonderful.
Work with the big names in the kitchen right now, Mr. Enrico Bartolini, one of the top chefs in Italy.
Yeah.
The guy with the most Michelin star right now, actually.
Yeah.
And I started traveling at a young age, and I ended up here in Orange County.
Why?
That's the question everybody asked you, Chef, when you came here 25 years ago. Why?
There's people still ask me, what made you come to Orange County?
I was supposed to go to London. I had a job waiting for me in London at the Ritz. And my cousin was living in Orange County. He had a small company. They was bringing Italian product to sell to Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And on my visit here, one of his account needed some help. And I say, sure. And they made me an offer. They asked me if I want to stay. They can help me with the green card and stuff. So the rest is history.
Wonderful. Good. And now you're successful. And you are so successful, you just got the top award of restaurant in Orange County with through Orange Coast Magazine as the best new restaurant of Orange County.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's what caught my attention. I know you're a PR person, and I said, we got to get him on the show here.
Yeah. How do you feel now that you achieve that level of award, and is anything changing in your way, or people, maybe the customer, to come and congratulate you?
I always like to work with a lot of pressure, meaning that I always try to make everything as much perfect that we can.
Yeah.
And talking about service and food and everything we do at the restaurant. So the more recognition you get, the more pressure you're also having, because people expectation is always getting higher and higher. So now it's our responsibility to deliver more and more, in a way. So
but you also maybe feel more secure because you achieve a big step.
no, you just want more.
Oh no, okay, all right.
It doesn't. It just starting great.
You
People
mean you're
start
looking
relying.
for recognition from a special guide, maybe a Michelin star?
If that happened, it would be amazing. But
Yeah, why not?
that's my life goal,
Yeah,
to open a restaurant and achieve recognition from.
because when
from
I
Michelin.
look at your menu, you are really going that direction. Yeah, that's to be recognized, very creative, because your cuisine is classically based, but it has a very good modern twist into it and some of your own touch.
Yes. So I believe that I work always in cuisine, in kitchen, especially in Europe, they have your chef signature. So I always learn that you have to make food your own, in a way that when people looking at something, it's like, oh, that Antonio. Even though I don't spend a lot of more time in kitchen right now, I have an amazing staff. But it's always the direction that you talk with chefs and say, hey guys, let's work on this dish. And sometimes you come up with crazy stuff. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But it's always trying to push the envelope at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And working especially in France, that was fun because they really show me the beauty on how you can present food on a plate. The Italian roots is all about flavor and the ingredients that you have and the freshness.
Yeah.
So when you combine both techniques and your flavors, I think something magic happened.
Yeah, that's good. And so you have goals, I can tell. What do you think? Yeah, I'm not sure if you say it, but give me some comment about your reaction when you got the awards.
So it's funny because I didn't know. And
No.
I didn't know. So
Did somebody come in and tell you, hey, you won an award?
no,
You mean you open a magazine and say,
Oh, there, look at that.
Actually-
That's me.
So I knew that some type of article was going because they called me up, hey, Antonio, we need to send this photographer if you can provide a few dishes. So it's like, okay. And then it was a Friday night and I received a text message, congratulations. I was like, for what? You get a message before you get a picture. As for what? And then the picture show up, like a restaurant of the year. What?
Yeah.
I said, what is that?
Yes.
Chef's holding up the magazine here.
And that's like Orange Coast magazine.
Beautiful looking place.
And-
amazing.
And the thing is,
I want to eat the page.
I didn't receive the magazine after probably 2 weeks that happened. So everybody was talking about it. They even read the article yet.
So I'm going to turn it around on the chef. He's pushing you hard about what did it do? How did you react? What did it do to your business? Chef Pascal, you told me you won, this is way back when, earlier days of Orange Coast Magazine.
Yeah.
You won 3, 4, 5 of these things or something, right?
Fortunately, every restaurant I open up, I got the award.
So how did it change your life?
Once, same thing. We keep on going.
Just keep
you know?
on going.
And try to not that as an ego thing. You just congratulate your staff. You just also your customers, because the customers are the one that really make you being recognized.
I would think customers would be proud.
Yeah, they are.
Somehow this is our place, and now everybody's recognizing it.
They say it, okay, let me take you to the best new restaurant in Orange County, and it's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got to ask you both the question. I've asked Chef Pascal this many times. Show is mostly about restaurant business. In today's world, can you be Michel Richard? Can you be Chef Pascal? Can you be the one-off famous, name all these famous restaurants in Orange County or California? Can you be the French Laundry? Can you just be one place or do you have to build a concept that can scale and be multiple places?
My side say, as Chef Antonio say, you have to set your goals.
Exactly.
And you have to stick to your goal. And you cannot go one way and then the other. No, you just have a line. That's why.
Because you had some people say it's hard to make a living off of one restaurant anymore. You have to build a chain to survive with the high cost. So I'll ask Chef and your guest here today. What is?
Sometimes you learn by the hard way.
Yeah.
But you get better at it after the time. 1 year of a restaurant opening sometimes is not enough to learn what you need to do to keep it going. And so it's not easy.
So I'm going to ask you same question to you, the guest here today. What do you think? You've now 1 year, you won an award. Is this 25 years going to last there, or is it going to be 25 locations?
No, Girasole is going to be only one. And then it's not a restaurant that you can replicate. It's too much going on behind the scene. Too big
behind the door.
Behind the kitchen doors, yeah.
Exactly. It's too
the front door and the kitchen door.
You have a lot of employees to do the food that we do. So the costs are very high. Obviously, when you run a restaurant, like any business, you have to make sure that your numbers make sense as well. Mm-hmm. So is your break-even achievable? And then we say, okay, let's do a restaurant.
So is fine dining harder than ever because it does take more labor to do it? That's what Chef Pascal talked about. Could you open a Pascal's in today's environment as easily as you did 25 years ago? Or he's doing it today?
There's more labor because it's a more refined cuisine. But it's also to build up a team and to make sure the team is going to stay. Because that's for consistency, very important. And so you build up a team and you establish a trust. I think that you said that earlier. And then things should happen and keep going. So it's very important. The team work together and the team has to listen because he's a creative chef. Is
it hard to build and keep a team today? Because teams just turn over all the time. Or I go in, there's new servers, new chefs, new people all the time in these restaurants.
You find people that come and go. But then you really want people that are passionate about what they're doing. And those people stay because they believe they're doing something different, something special. And the way I have goal, they also have goal. So when you find people that really you can align, and that's beautiful. Because an employee is an employee. You just need the person that cares and they want to go somewhere with you.
Yeah. And they also, if they start, I used to have even dishwashers. They became line cooks.
Moved up the line, yeah.
Because they wanted to know, and they were always curious and jumping to help. And these employees are very reliable and very important.
And I'm not trying to say anything that we haven't talked about before, but how many restaurants make it 25 years anymore here? It seems harder and harder for...
Don't put that in his head.
No, I'm not trying to say. I could see this.
He's young.
You had the guy from...
He has a lot of future.
You had Yasmin in here from Knife Pleat that did win a Michelin star, and she's talking about how can we sustain this for a long period of time.
I will associate that a little bit because they have a little bit the same goal. Knife Pleats open soft course, but really in a goal to get some Michelin star level.
Clearly.
And that I can see that.
He's got the same dream here, the same passion.
And the French California style, but also now on the other side, that's the Italian style. Talking about cuisine, how much of a classic Italian and modern your creativity are on the menu? Are they fused or
is it a classic?
I like to play with the classic, but then don't offer the classic, if it makes sense. So, for example,
the classic is a base.
Yeah, so the classic, they give you the idea, the flavor profile that you look into a dish, right? And I can recreate it my own. So, for example, we offer gnocchi al pesto. If you read it, it's a classic. The way it's presented is totally different. It's in a way that the first thing I thought about it is what the guest is going to expect when they order gnocchi al pesto. It's going to be gnocchi, so those potato dumpling, and this green sauce. And then I say, let's do something unexpected.
Yeah.
So instead of be green, let's make sure it's white.
Okay.
And then you start thinking, okay, how can we do it? We do pesto on the bottom. What is it? So I decided to stuff the gnocchi with pretty much the basil and the garlic. So green. And then
that's more work.
a lot of more work. So then,
once you hold the dough,
so you have to overload the dough. You have to create the filling. You have to put the filling inside. You make sure the filling is the right
and it doesn't leak out.
Consistency and color. I'm very picky on colors. Yeah. And then you have to make it fresh every day. And then,
like mothers do in Italy.
Yeah,
they make in the morning.
pretty much. And then the Parmigiano becomes this beautiful foam that we put on top, very delicate, and some toasted peanuts. So when you see it, it's look like almost like a cloud. And,
I'm getting hungry already. Did he bring some with him here today? Are we going to try it or no?
I don't think it's food travel.
It doesn't travel. You can't put it in the back of the car in an Uber and bring it over here?
Yeah. In fact, I decided not to do to go.
Yeah.
Because I can't do to go. And people ask me all the time.
It's too many, I guess there's too many level and pieces and garnish and things like that. So once you open the box and to go.
So I find that an interesting conversation because COVID changed everything for so many restaurants. They were forced to do to go. Did that go away?
We had no choice. But on fine dining, on very precise cuisine, still you go to
if I went to the French Laundry, can I get it to go?
No. You can take your leftover if you want, but
I can't stop and pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to go.
And all right. So now you have the creativity. Now we know the style of your cuisine a little bit. How you very picky on how to get your ingredients. Can you tell us your sourcing? A little bit.
We don't need his vendors. You're going to give them a secret here, right? But where do you get it? Yeah.
So first of all, everything that is in season we're trying to use. So the menu is going to change according to what's available. For example, all the seafood that I have is always wild. So you don't see right now salmon on the menu unless Wild King salmon becomes available, and then we run some special with that. Mm-hmm. So we serve rockfish from Santa Barbara, Alaskan halibut, and now we can find. All the meats come from a specific ranch. Yeah. I can trust and know the way they raise the beef and everything.
So you're not going through a vendor? You're not just going to buy it? You go straight to the grower?
Obviously we do use vendors. So for produce, for example, all the produce really come from farmer's market. I don't personally go to the farmer's market, but my vendors does. And he tells me every morning, I receive a text message, "Hey, Antonio, this is available, yada, do you want it?" And then he knows what we need, so he always pick up the best produce for us. The meat, we try so many meat from different ranches, and then you have to understand the way the cow is being raised. What does it eat or not? It's one of those, it's like people want grass-fed. Why do you want grass-fed? I want a meat that is eating organically, but is also eating in a way that the meat is going to taste good. Yeah. Because I like a good steak with a lot of fat inside, like a good marbling, like a prime. So we only use prime or wagyu. I try to buy my meat from domestic. Yeah. So we use something like a Double R Ranch or Snake River Farm. It's like the same company. One does the prime program, the other one does the American wagyu. And the steaks are unbelievable.
Does anybody, and I don't know what you do, does anybody anymore do their own butchering? Do you buy a side of beef and then cut it up yourself or whatever here? Or does everybody just get cuts and portions?
I wish I had the space to buy half a cow, but I don't. But we buy, like when you buy ribeye, you buy the whole rack. Or New York, you buy the whole loin. We do a lot of work with the dry ager. So if you come to the bar, we have a beautiful dry ager. Oh, wow. And we have all our meats there.
Do you hang some bone steak, beef on the bone, or
it's
mohawks?
Sometimes we have tomahawks. Like right now, we have some tomahawk from Snake River Farm. Those are beautiful. A lot of marbling on those.
But Paul is a producer, yeah? He's the one who is very curious about
Always
what's
curious
going on
about this stuff.
behind the
Because you
kitchen
had
wall.
somebody come. Who's the guy from that does his own butchering and stuff here?
Personally, we find out when you buy portion cut meats, the cost is too high.
Yeah.
And so if you buy the whole loin of New York, if you butcher it yourself, you just save a lot of labor costs. I mean, you do it on your own. And because there's also part of the meat that you don't get when you buy portion cut meat. There's also the lower end of the loin. You can use it for stock or for some ground beef or some other trimming and even some meat around the vein. So you actually save quite a lot of money doing some of the butchering.
But you got to store it. You got to replace everything he's saying here. It seems like restaurants have moved away from that concept here.
Yeah, now you can buy everything, portion size, everything pre-made, but when you buy the whole thing, you also have what they call waste, and that waste you can use it to make sauces or other preparation.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful when you can actually utilize the most out of it.
You make
everything.
your own stock,
Absolutely.
like you buy your own chicken.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how much more money you make when you buy your own chicken, because you use the leg and thigh for one dish, and you use the breast for another one, and then you end up using all the carcasses for the stock.
So why have so many? Is it just the chain mentality? They buy it in portions, and then they think they can control it better?
Because sometimes they don't have anybody with a skill in the kitchen to do that, and if you don't,
they
know
can
to
cook
do
it, but they can't cut it up necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you have to adapt the menu for that too. Yeah.
I say to both of you, is the era of fine dining harder than ever today here? Do people appreciate all the effort you've gone through? It must cost more. It must reflect.
I let Antonio talk about his experience on that so far.
So I have some people come in and say fine dining is
I can tell you my own thinking about it.
Some people are saying, no, we're in the era of chains and cost control and whatnot.
When I opened Il Girasole, obviously I want an elevated experience. When you talk about fine dining, I like the idea of, again, an experience that is elevated. But sometimes you go to a restaurant, they are intimidating.
Yeah, exactly.
Too stuffy, too much. And I hate that. So that's why I create an environment that is fun. You have a lot of graffiti art around the restaurant.
Graffiti art, okay. I have to go check this out.
Are you doing that during your lunch break and dinner break?
He's painting it?
No, it's only inspired by Banksy. So it's
Banksy, there you
go. Very cool. And then I decided no tablecloth. And just because I want the ambiance, I want to more relax. And then you see the menu is important. You get the food and it's a wow factor. And that's, to me, is good eating.
Yeah.
And isn't that why we go out to eat? Because we want an experience. If I can make this at home, then why do I need to go pay somewhere there? Maybe I need a place to socialize and gather. But to me, I want to go out and eat something I can't get anywhere at home. I want to have an experience.
There is also another level on that. The kitchen may do all they can to the chef to be creative, but you got to let your front of the house staff knowing all the reason why, how things made, where products are coming from. It's very important that
And you and I have this discussion all the time. I go to what's called a fine dining restaurant in the front of the house. I don't know. What would you recommend? I don't know.
Let me ask the chef.
Let me ask the chef. Right? Yeah. They don't know because they themselves haven't grown up with that kind of experience training, and for whatever reason. So much effort in the back to produce great product, but the people in the front who present it are just order takers.
Yeah, but for example, I also spend a lot of time in front of the house. I'm always there. And it's funny when people ask, hey, what do you recommend? When you create all those dishes, it's hard to recommend things.
Pick a child. So, I like my child. I like my second son better than my first.
Let's see. Someone come to your restaurant and say, chef's choice. What do you...
Chef's choice.
Yeah, what would you put on the selection?
Or if you had one of those special nights, chef's choice, and everybody pays a premium to sit at the table.
I like to go to a restaurant and say, let the chef pick for me.
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
So if you do that, we do every night tasting menu. Do the tasting menu.
So it's like a prefix?
We do a prefix, 6 courses.
6 courses.
Yeah,
Wow.
every day. Actually, this month we are partnering with Casa, and we give back 20%.
Oh, it was part of my question. I think I saw something in
Yeah.
your website that you involved in some charity, but Casa is...
Remind me what CASA is. I know what CASA is. The what?
It's an association that helps foster
Yes,
kids
that's right.
in
Because we've
Orange
had them
County.
in here. Exactly.
So for me, anything that I can make a difference, obviously, is important. And kids is the future, so we need to help them.
Sure.
My
And,
own daughter is adopted. So, yes, that's why I knew CASA. I just couldn't
Especially kitchen staff also have trouble living and trouble... on
more
their
than
own.
ever.
Yeah. So good for you. That's great. And maybe you should be involved in some of the charities that we all have in Orange County too. We can talk about that.
You should listen to the last show because I thought that was fascinating. So we had Second Harvest Food Bank in here, and it's not a food pantry. It's a food bank that supplies all the food pantries. Massive, 100,000 square foot facility over at the Great Park. Looks like any other supermarket distribution point. And they grow some of their own food. They buy some of their own food, and they distribute this food. And who's on their board but the owner of Knife Pleat? Another fine dining restaurant. And I thought, isn't that doesn't make sense? You're talking about two ends of the spectrum, super fine dining, expensive, elite stuff, and food for those who have no food.
Yeah.
And yet she said, to us, it's the same mission, feed the people and create a good experience and good food.
Totally. But that's what we do with my network of chefs.
Exactly.
We jump in when there's a catastrophe and we need a food relief for in case when
like you guys all did for the fires up in
we had
Brentwood and everything.
15,000 meals in Los Angeles. So that's
I think you got another chef here who'll volunteer for those days.
Definitely.
Now that we are connected, we will do that. Yeah.
Is that important to be involved in the community? I would think it always is. It more so than I guess I'm getting to the point. Is fine dining harder to? Because I see fewer and fewer fine dining restaurants. I see more restaurants that somehow are chains or multiple locations. The Michelin star chef that creates 5 restaurants, but he's never really 4 of them. He just creates the menu and stuff. It's something, and I'm wondering, is it just the cost of fine dining, or is it the marketing of fine dining? Is it creating a...
What do you think, Chef?
Yeah.
I will tell you my...
Yeah. What's the challenge of fine dining today?
Obviously, it's, first of all, the talent. You need to be understanding about food. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you can hire a chef or somebody. And then the person's going to leave. So it's always like it's a lot of question point around fine dining, especially when you do something creative and something like this. The cost, obviously, is a lot. Labor is intense. The pressure is a lot. It's just at one point, you have to be crazy to do it.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, why do you spend so much time and money to do what we do? And most of people, they just like simple stuff.
They want meatloaf back on the menu.
And you don't get free rent.
No.
No. So it's a lot of work behind. So that's why it's very hard to open a restaurant like that. And the costs associated are very high again. And then, yes, when you eat in those places, obviously you pay a premium for it. And not because...
Not just because they charge.
Yeah,
right.
That's one thing I've been always debating, that Orange County was not really in favor of high price menu.
And maybe didn't have an appreciation for it because this is suburbia.
Yes, because Orange County was not really exposed to high-end fine dining. New York, San Francisco, Chicago.
They expected it. They had a built-in audience. Right.
People travel and they go there to try the best restaurant. Now we have that opportunity that is happening in Orange County.
I think
Absolutely.
things are changing.
I think so.
And I have a lot of people, they say, oh, I found you on Instagram or OpenTable, and I was about to go to LA, you sent me a trip.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like the demand is there, obviously.
You don't have to drive to LA, you just take Uber to Orange County restaurant.
And I'm not trying to tout you, Chef, but you were part of that pioneering group, the OG, the old guard, Bruno and you and a handful of others, to maybe the ranch or some places that were doing bringing fine dining to a world of fast food in Orange County. And now I think it has changed. We're seeing Michelin star restaurants and Michelin recognized restaurants.
You have more choice now, more options. And if you really want to have a top level type of dining experience,
you can experience it.
We have more and more choice in Orange County. Not many, but we have more and more. Fortunately, it's not huge. But
it's not Yountville up where the French Laundry is, and there's 12 Michelin star restaurants.
But with social media, like Chef said, on Instagram, people Google now, and they look for the exposure on Google. If the chef or his social media person do the posting on the promotion and to draw people in, get the intention, say, oh man, we need to
So
try
again,
that.
is it harder? You've got to be a social person. You've got to be out on Instagram.
You have to do Instagram. You have to do social media. You have no choice. Before we used to either handwrite or type
press release,
also newsletter to your client. Now we have that chance to have this social media that you can touch a lot of people. So posting, I post all the time. Almost once a day, I have something to post about.
So we'll ask your guests the same question. Are you a social media animal here, or do you have people do that for you? You got a PR person here today. Maybe she does it for you.
I have a team.
I have a team. Takes a team.
Because I believe everybody has a talent. So you need to trust people with talent to do the stuff for you.
There you go. There you go. Takes a team now here. Paul is smiling.
Because sometimes you want to do everything and you can do it right. So concentrate on what you do best and then have other people that do what they do best.
Sometimes the chef plate is full.
No pun, or all definitely a pun intended here. So tell me about the South Coast regional area. I don't know if they give it a name. They keep trying to give it a name, all the stuff around South Coast. In South Coast and around, there seem to be more fine dining restaurants than the rest of Orange County. They're scattered around, but there's a concentration now. Is that creating a place? Is this the new, I don't know, Beverly Hills or Hollywood, or is it someplace people go expecting this kind of? You've got Knife Pleat, you got your restaurant not far away, Shuck, the cool little oyster place, some other place.
They just closed, unfortunately.
Did Shuck close? I didn't know that. It was too bad.
But they're opening, I think, Omakase.
Omakase, okay.
Oh, okay.
So there are a number of those kinds of things seem to be concentrating in this surrounding area. I know South Coast would like to brand itself as that place.
South Coast, the Segerstrom company, South Coast product company, are really... They have amazing list of restaurants in all the South Coast
we have one of the marketing people in there. They said, no, that's our whole goal, is we want to be the place where all this stuff is.
And of course, you have competition between shopping center and shopping centers. And
South Coast isn't a shopping center. It's the shopping center. It's the thing, yeah.
But again, I cannot mention other places. But because of the kind of raw competition, to have, I'm going to have that center. Okay, in my center, I want the best restaurant in Orange County. And the other center said, no, I want the best restaurant. So they compete and give us more choice and so more opportunities.
So my question for your guests is, was that an attraction to you that there are other fine dining in the area? Or is that a challenge because then they got lots of choices to go to in the area there? Is it better to be the only one in, I don't know, pick a city? Or do you want to be where others... Is it like car dealers? You all want to be together in one spot so everybody goes and shops and tries?
The thing...
The strange question, I know here. But
no, again, and where we located is not like in South Coast Plaza. It's close by.
Close by.
So there's a lot of option around, yes. In a way, I feel like I love Costa Mesa just because it's easy to access from everywhere.
It's a great center.
Also,
Costa Mesa is billing. We have John Stevenson here numerous times, the mayor. That is their whole mantra. We want to be the dining center of Orange County here.
Not only this. This center has a design, kitchen design. This center has surface. Surface is a place we can buy fine ingredients with cooking classes, and they still do that. And then you have so many different type of businesses for, especially that young entrepreneur. They have a very a big variety of choices.
So are you part of this new wave that all these places in this kind of central part of the county, I don't see them opening anymore up in the north part of the county in Brea or something. I don't see them opening. It's along the coast here and there, but I don't know. Just seems like that's the happening place. You're in the middle of the happening place. I'm not surprised you are where you are.
It is known that center is known for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, since they opened,
Yeah.
restaurant like Arc,
Yeah.
it's one of those made the history.
Yeah.
In Orange County with a speakeasy,
Yeah,
kind
right.
of dark vibe, like everything was burned, like a wood burning. And where I am, it was a chicken and waffle place.
Right, exactly. A chicken and waffle place is now fine dining. Yeah,
you believe
exactly.
And then the oyster bar, that was cool.
That was cool.
That was one of the main tenants.
Yeah.
And obviously, time passes and restaurant goes, restaurant comes.
Yeah.
Who makes it, who doesn't?
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
No.
Did
No,
did
to
you
me-
worry about it for 25 years? No, he just said,
No, I'm here.
I'm
Boom.
here.
Solid. I'm holding the stove. Yeah.
So what would you tell him? How do you survive for 25 years? What's the key? You're longer than that. You were.
You be yourself. You give yourself the definition of what you want to be, and
Sounds like he's done that.
you
yeah.
build up clientele on that consistency, and it's very important. And then the consistency, you also add sometimes a touch, like you have seasonal menu, so you can add and
Tasting
people
menus, you said
want to
that's
come for experience, but you also need to keep some dishes as your staples. Very important, because if you like something, you come back for it. You
That's
want
me.
to see it.
I always like to try something new, but at the same time, when I find something I like, I go to that place
Yeah.
because they've got that.
Because I always say, your mother's cuisine may not be the best, but when you go home, there's some dishes that you remember you want to have
Isn't
again.
that the truth? Isn't
So
it the
same thing with on business. You just,
So I'll ask your guest, what was your mother's favorite dish? What was your mother's best dish?
yeah. Oh,
My mother's best dish.
Was she a good cook, first of all?
Oh, yeah, that's why.
she's
That's where the passion comes.
Italian, come on.
Ah, come on. All right.
No, she's great.
What was her best dish?
Gosh, she's from Puglia. And Puglia, they're famous for making orecchiette.
And what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Orecchiette is like a little ear
Little
type
ears.
of pasta.
With your
Oh,
thumb.
okay. Oh,
And I remember especially when we went to see our family in Puglia, it was a tradition of my mom and my aunt, my grandma, they all were making orecchiette
by hand.
by hand. It's so fast. It's amazing. And then either a meat sauce or they do it with rapini, broccoli, a little spicy, and anchovy. So super simple but delicious.
Yeah. The reason it's such a good pasta is small. It's like a orecchiette, but it's like a little
Orecchie.
yeah. And
You're
then
moving your thumb for the
yeah, the
can't
thumb,
see it,
because
yeah.
you have to push and pound, and because that pasta holds the sauce. You don't have to turn it like a spaghetti into
Oh,
the sauce.
okay.
It's like a little cup.
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
cup.
okay.
So,
Orecchio means
yeah.
ear, so little
Yeah.
ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And somehow that absorbs the sauce better because otherwise you got to
Yeah.
keep turning the pasta all the time.
And you have a conversation with the orecchiette.
You talk to it? Well, one of the things the chef surprised me when we started the show, and I said, where did all this stuff come from? I assumed it's because you went to culinary school and you studied with Paul Bocuse, who's one of these famous guys, and on. And you said, yeah, some of that. Most of it came from your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true with you? Is this your mom's dish? Because I think of as fine dining as something beyond normal food. And yet he said, to me, this is a variation of the normal food I grew up with. Maybe it's sold as fine dining in the way we present it and everything else, but it's still essentially...
That's the flavor that
Yeah.
you want to achieve, something that brings you memory from the past. So it's what you like, and it's like, how can I make it in my way?
Yeah,
So,
right.
for example, growing up in Tuscany, I love meat. We do a lot of meat. And so that's why I always offering duck, and right now we have rabbit. I used to have elk.
Oh, you love meat there because you have some great red wine as well.
Yeah. And
So you have elk?
I
don't think I know where to go get elk.
elk, yeah, I used to have it during winter, and then hunting season is over. So now with spring, I put rabbit instead. So lighter and it go very well with the peas and carrots.
Okay.
So it's delicious.
Bison is good too. Yeah.
Bison, we make short ribs
Yeah.
for appetizer.
Bison. Okay. All right. So there's some unusual thing. So last question as we wrap up. If people were going to go there, what is your signature dish? What's the one? Oh, this is the one you got to try. This is the one I'm going to come back for over and over. Things may change, but this one survives. This is the deal.
I would say the duck pappardella.
Duck pappardella. What is that?
So pappardella is this thick type of noodles, right? And in Tuscany,
Large fettuccine.
kind of like
okay.
a thick fettuccine. Think
Okay.
about
Yeah, I know
that.
about pasta.
Apparently you do. You're French. What do you know about that?
And then in Tuscany, we make it usually with either wild boar or some type of ragu, also duck. And in Tuscany, usually you grind the duck, you do the sofrito with the vegetable, and then little tomato, and then you do the pappardelle. We have an amazing duck.
And is this inside the pasta or just?
And we do inside the pasta. So
Right.
the way we do it is we do the pappardelle is actually almost like a lasagna sheet, and then we put this.
So you put the sofrito inside the
No. It's
The meat.
It's all about the meat in this
Oh,
dish.
okay.
So we take the duck legs
Okay.
and we confit them. So we
Okay.
cook a very slow time,
Yeah,
long
yeah.
for overnight inside
Wow.
their own fat. And then we put a little ricotta, a little mushroom, some of the duck sauce, the juice that we do with the bones, and then we make this filling for this pasta. Pretty much it's like you're making ravioli, but it's gonna be just one big roll. Look like flowers at the end, different colors.
Sunflowers.
Not quite.
How do you call that final dish?
It's a stuffed pappardella, just because it's double the size of the pappardella, but it's more like a giant stuffed pasta. And we finish up with mushroom, whatever they are in season. So then I
Like right there?
Picking out the
like
mushrooms on the picture there. Again, my mouth is watering just hearing this talk about this. So that's the dish. It's duck.
That's the dish. And
Pappardella.
then
You play with truffle too sometimes?
oh yeah, so truffle are big. I always have truffle on my menu. So during the winter, when it's season of the white truffle, I do a tasting menu all about truffle.
Oh.
So it's usually 8 courses, 4 with white truffle and 4 with black truffle.
Yeah.
I got to go to there because you all talk about truffles like we all know.
But if
I
you-
do
if
not
you-
know
If you
truffles.
eat truffle, I won't pick the bill.
It's so good.
That expensive, yeah.
But
I know very little about
that's
truffles.
What, you know what you pay for.
Because
So-
a pig has to sniff it out or
Well,
something.
No, but such a limited,
They're beautiful.
especially here, coming directly from Italy. You know.
Right.
Yeah. And then we do specials, like a classic risotto. And then now the truffle season is over, and summer truffle are available.
Yeah.
Those are more inexpensive in a way.
In a way.
I would say affordable.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Less expensive.
But you need to use more because the summer
flavor
truffle,
is not that great.
you have to cook them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but also you need to be careful how you play with them. So you don't do tagliarini and then you put the truffle on it. So right now we do a special with the halibut, and we stuff it with the summer truffle.
That sounds good.
I've never heard a chef describe cooking as playing. You have to be careful how you play with them. I thought you'd say how you cook
There's
with
no-
them.
It sounds like there's nothing playing on this.
No, playing. Experiment like a kid.
Oh, playing.
Playing like you're
No,
playing.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
playing
of
around with
course.
it. It
Yeah.
depends on how you play with
But
it,
you got to have fun and pleasure, especially pleasure to cook.
apparently. Well, it's our pleasure to have you here today. How do they find you?
Yes, we need to location,
Websites,
a
everything. How do
number
they
of
find
website,
you?
Yes.
So the website is il-girasole.com.
And spell that for all of us who are not Italian.
Girasole, so GIRASOLE.com.
Which means sunflower. or
And
something.
sunflower.
if people can pronounce the name, they just Google say, how do you say sunflower in Italian?
That's right.
There you go.
Or they simply look up Orange Coast Magazine to see the restaurant of the year and find it quickly here. Oh, Paul is trying to get you to plug something else here.
Oh yeah, also Instagram is
Yeah.
Il Girasole OC.
Okay.
You see our icon is a kind of brown and white sunflower. So
Yeah.
we pop up
Wonderful.
right away.
Okay.
Good.
And yeah,
Do you use sunflower oil?
no, we actually have zero seed oil in the restaurant. All the oil I use is.
Good. Actually, it's not a bad question. No.
Yeah, right.
You had the
Sometimes it's a
answer. Good.
It's funny because I was talking to Paula, my PR, and she says, so "Tell me about your kitchen, your cooking." Okay, So it's where you got your ingredients? Yeah, the farmer's market, all my meat that come from here and there. And I like to specify all the farms. My duck come from right outside of New York, this beautiful farm. And I say, I have no seeds oil because they're bad for you. So we use all the avocado oil for neutral or extra virgin olive oil. We fry a few things in a small fryer, more for garnishes. And we use clarified butter. And she say, and why don't you promote that? It's like, because to me it's the norm.
It's the norm, right? No.
It's like,
he's right, because nobody does that.
Nobody.
Yeah.
and you need to promote that. It's like,
it's
I
point.
feel like everybody should do it.
Yeah, you're very concerned about health as well.
Intentional.
And but most of these regions have great olive oils. Do you have any olive oil, family olive oil producer?
No, in the family. A lot of friends though, they usually do olive oil.
Right.
And I love olive oil. So in fact,
if you travel to Italy, are you going to pack a nice bottle of
absolutely.
A special one to bring back. Thank you. It's a special conversation here today. And one more time. I can't even say
Il Girasole.
Girasole. Il Girasole.
Just close your eyes, look at the flower, Girasole.
Girasole. That's it. All right. Thank you so much for joining. What a pleasure. We hope we'll have you back again
Thank
here.
you, Chef.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hang on here. There you have it. I got all excited. I'm racing out the door to go over and try it now here. One more reason to tune in each and every time to find out what's happening. Not just around town, but behind the kitchen door. What's it take to run a fine dining restaurant today here? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? And where are they doing it? That's what we're talking about each and every week here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.